But yeah, so we're doing this convention in DC. And there's an MC, and I mean, most conventions have MCs. But this guy's just annoying. Like, instead of just letting the music play, he feels like he's got to be talking 24/7. So we start, and he's right in front of us. And he's trying to be funny, and then one of us mentions like, "Oh, we should put a sticker on his back."
While he's driving?
No,
like
he's
talking in front of the whole tattoo.
Yeah, it's
convention.
the tattoo convention.
okay.
It's the guy that's talking.
He's like, you know what an MC is?
Yeah.
It's like, right, you guys right now, you're an MC.
So one of Danny's friends was like, "If you make it, I'll put it on him."
Yeah.
So we made. I forgot what we put. Like I suck dick or something.
And he went down like Mission Impossible. Like,
Yeah, I went and asked him a question and put it on his back.
It would be so funny because every time he would turn around, like to look at the other part of the crowd, all these people would be like taking pictures, and he turned around, everybody's laughing. Remember that shit?
Yeah, and before he knew it, he had a crowd.
Yeah, huge crowd.
There was a big crowd.
he was like, "Man, I must be doing
Yes,
great."
he thought he was doing great. I swear, he really thought he was doing great.
It was all part of the act.
No, and then
Because everybody would be laughing behind him, and then he like turned around like, why are they? Like every now and then he was starting to catch it. You know what I mean?
and then at the end, he's like, "Wow, this is kind of weird. It's almost like I have a sign on my back." And then somebody's like, "You do have a sign on your
one of the
back."
security dudes, one of Tramp's dudes, he came out and like took it off of his back, and he was like, "What the fuck?" Like, you know, because I guess somebody was probably like, "All right, it's enough of this guy getting humiliated in front of the whole tattoo convention."
But man, the guy thought he was on a roll. Like he really thought like people were into his act.
Thought he was doing something.
That's fucking hilarious.
That was fucking hilarious. Fuck yeah.
His confidence went from 100 to 0 in 20
It's like
seconds.
his fourth job.
But I don't
He's
know
like,
if they showed him
"Okay,
the sign
buddy."
later because the dude just ripped it off of his back. I just remember it was like this big biker dude. Like he's like, just pulled it off his back, and then like, you know what I mean? And everybody's laughing.
Man.
But I just thought it was funny because every time he turned around, everybody would be like, all taking pictures of him, you know?
Like when he turns around, the crowd cheers. Ah!
I wonder who's telling. I always wonder, like with those stories, like all the mamadas that we've done over the years, like I've always wondered, like what's the like the other person's version or other people that were exposed to our bullshit, like
Yeah, right.
like how they tell that story, but in their own like context, you know.
It's all like,
Like the one time they got that.
I don't want to bring it up.
What was that tall white guy? Do you remember that tall white guy that used to work the front counter guy? At the shop for a while. He had a
Jason. Right? Yeah.
One time they put one on his car before he went to go see the lights at Eastridge, and it said something like, all Santa gave me for Christmas was herpes." So he's looking at all the houses, and then like some man gets out and knocks on his windows like, "Hey, I don't appreciate that sign on your vehicle. It's like it's offensive. I got all my kids and shit in here in the car." And he's like, "What are you talking about? What the fuck?" And he was a big pussy, so you know he's all scared. And when he got out of his car, he's like, "That sign on your car, take it off." And then so he gets out and he looks, he's like, "Motherfucker." Like, you know what I mean? All Santa gave me was herpes.
I like how the guy was offended. Like, "Hey man, don't remind me of my herpes, all right?"
I got kids in the car. Can they read? Like, you know what I mean?
You look at all the kids have sores.
Santa gave me herpes years ago. You don't see me advertising.
Fuck, man. We did all kinds of that shit. You know what I mean? Remember the time you saved my life in New York?
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, man, that was tough. That was right after 9/11 too.
Fuck yeah, it was twice actually that day. Like, well, I mean, the first time I guess
Don't get on the plane.
I reached. It was hilarious. I want to know where that tape is. The fucking Nick and Anthony on TRL.
Oh, right.
That exists somewhere. You know, TRL was this like teen show, right? So me and Renee are in the lobby with them, and we went to go visit Rachel. Their cousin down there, she worked for Carson, this guy Carson Daly at the time. I don't know, you remember that guy?
Yeah.
Okay, so we go down there, and then some guy comes out the back with his little earpiece. He's like, he looks at Renee and me, and he's like, "Not him and not him, but him and him." We grab Anthony and Nick because we're the cute ones, you know what I mean?
Him.
And then we're like,
Bags.
he liked guys, but it's cool. But he was just like him and him, not him and him. And then we're like, so Rachel's like, "All right, well, let's go shopping." So we're like, "Yeah, we're gonna go to Canal Street and go shopping." And then
You guys bought cuter outfits and came back.
we're trying to. We're all like, why aren't we good enough for this
It was
fucking
like Pretty Women. You could wear makeup on.
all smeared?
Wish you could have me now.
No, but the cab driver pulls over and he stops, right? He's like, "Oh, Canal Street's right there. Walk." And we're like, here? Get out here? He's like, yeah. He
Yeah,
was
say,
one
"Get
lane
out."
over. From like, you're supposed to pull on the curb, right? But he was one lane over, right? So I go to open my fucking door. I open my door and I reach down to grab my backpack. And Reno's in the front and fucking Rachel's next to me. And I reach out to grab my backpack in this fucking plumbing truck. Like fucking turns the fucking the cab door, bro. It's like you know when you pull your soda can off and it peels open but doesn't come all the way off. Fucking door was curled like that, like a fucking, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh shit. And I just remember looking at you, and Renee was like, fuck, you almost died. And I looked at Rachel, and then it was so funny because it hadn't hit me yet that I almost died, you know what I mean? And so I was just like, oh fuck, let's go, man. Like, and I'm trying to close the door, but that fucking door, the dude can't even get out of his door because shit's all bent. And here comes this big ass plumber, and this dude just like, hey man, fuck, oh man. I was like, oh fuck, this dude's mad, but he wasn't mad at me, he was mad at the cabbie. And then you remember that time? Then you remember the DHL driver? I'll never forget it. You just hear, "Hey, Poppy, you fucked up, eh?" He's like, you know you gotta pull over at the curb. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, come on, let's go. And Renee was trying to pay him for the cab ride, but the dude wouldn't take the money.
Yeah, he's like, no, you guys have to wait for the cops.
You gotta
can't
pay.
leave.
And as soon as we heard the DHL driver, like, no, Poppy, it's not, you fucked up. Like, it's not your fault. You know you gotta drop him off. It's the law.
Yeah.
And the plumber dude wasn't mad at us either. Renee just threw like 10, 20 bucks on the seat of the cab, and we take off.
Like,
So
I hope this will help.
yeah, we're like, there you go, bro. That's our cab ride. We're out. We didn't steal.
He's not getting us for theft, right?
Yeah. But then we're walking down, and then it dawns on me. I almost died, you know? Like, it just barely dawned on me. And then I just
Yeah, if
remember...
that backpack wasn't in there, you would have been a leg out.
But I'm wearing my backpack now, right? And I'm just walking. I was like, oh, fuck. And then we're talking, and it's like, man, you almost died. And I was like, oh, shit, no shit. And then realized, oh, fuck, I was so worried about fucking up the door that I realized, fuck, I did almost die. And then your dad grabs my backpack by that little strap, fucking pulls me back, and then another van... like literally, right, I just remember like right in front of my face, like I was about to step off the curb, and he's like, "The fuck?" And I was like, it's Final Destiny, or whatever that fucking movie is, where like you don't die, but you keep trying to kill you.
Yeah,
And I
you
was just
escape
like,
it, but not really.
It's like you're playing Lemmings. You just keep putting obstacles so he walks
Saved
down
my
the
life
right
that day, 'cause I would
way.
have died in New York City by that other fucking van. Because motherfuckers go like 90 in the fucking city, right? They're just hauling ass. They know where the fuck you got to know where the fuck you're going to New York City, otherwise you're fucked.
So, like, you almost died 2 times in 1 hour almost.
Less than an hour.
Less than an
15
hour.
minutes probably. Yeah.
And it was funny because the cab driver was Middle Eastern,
Yeah.
and it was right after 9/11, so everybody was letting that guy have it.
You piece of shit!
And he, the whole time, he's trying to look at us like, no, you guys don't leave, but everybody's on him, hounding him. And we're like, fuck it, we're out of here. I'm not waiting.
Like skedaddle.
Oh man.
Danny's telling him, yeah, your door's not too bad.
It'll buff out. It'll literally,
Just get a plunger.
that thing was
Pull the dents out.
literally curled like, and the plumber was pissed because it was just the side of his fucking van. You know, it's like, it's fucking funny, man.
Sorry, this guy's.
That was the same trip. Was that the same trip when we went to Rachel's, and when the cops rolled up on us, we got out of the fucking cab, we got dropped off.
Yeah, with a bunch of morons with their luggage walking down.
Right after 9/11, she's like, come to the house. That's the one with the American flag. Dude, literally, there's like 9,000 of them. You're standing in the seat. We're like, what the fuck? Is that like a trick? You know what I mean? And then here comes fucking Starsky and Hutch. Hey, what the fuck, you guys? Put your fucking hands on the cab. You know what I mean? Like total fucking New Jersey cops, right? And we're like, what the fuck? Yeah, you guys headed. You're going down that way is the projects. If you go down there, they continue to soup. You know what I mean?
I like soup.
Like, got menudo down there? Fuck yeah, let's go. That was just hilarious.
Which one is it? It's the only house with the Afghani flag.
And Rachel comes out of the fucking apartment. That's apartment, right? She's like in a robe and fucking hair. She's like, it's okay, guys. They're with me. Like she knows the local PD or some shit. You know what I mean? And like, hey, Rachel, get these fucking assholes in the house. Let me get 10 in the soup. You know what I mean? We're just like, what the fuck? Anthony got mad at me too because I'd just taken out a bowl and we were gonna smoke. And I handed it to him to load the bowl, and then he rolled up pants on the car. He's like, "Just on purpose, you knew they were." How fuck did I know Starsky and Hutch were coming? You fucking idiot! You're the one that asked me for the weed. I gave it to you. Like, you know what I mean? The train ride was hilarious. That was a crazy ass fucking trip. The toilet paper incident in the pizza parlor. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Paper incident.
Oh,
I don't even know if I wanted to know that
you
one.
remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
The pizza party?
Yeah, we went to get
The
pizza.
butt plug incident of 2003.
And they didn't have to lock you or let you in or let you up. And some dude was like in there shitting too long or something. Remember, Renee?
Back
We were
yeah,
all
yes.
talking shit and his wife was sitting next to us.
Oh, yeah, it's just... And there's no toilet paper, so they open the door and yeah, he's shitting, staring right at me. He's like,
and the dude was being a dick and just opening the door so because the dude was taking too long. Like, what the fuck is going on in there? And then, I can't remember. Did somebody take his toilet paper?
yeah, they finally gave him. He's like, give me some toilet paper.
You trying to wrap my ass? And he sits down next to us, and Oliver's like, oh fuck! And they're talking all this shit. And his wife was there, and she's all embarrassed. And this dude's like looking at us like, no fucking paper to wipe my ass. And it's like, what the fuck?
And then when they left, there was an old lady, and she's like, he's a fine young man.
Were you guys like, where are we?
Oh, that whole trip was crazy. The fucking train. At one point on the train, I think it was Nick, right? You know, they're fucking rotten inside. They're fucking shit. That's the whole fucking train. They're just farting like nonstop, right? And the fucking train conductor comes and like, we'd cleared out the whole cart, right? No one was in there. This dude walks in, he's like, I know it's you motherfuckers fucking stinking this place up. It's like, well, there's only us. Like, who else could it be? It's like, and then Nick and fucking, these fuckers would be like, people are falling asleep. They take like a book, right? Like the people in front of you are falling asleep. Slam it close. Oh! And then they wake up all like that. It's like, I took her meeting. Like, remember, it was like a whole trip of fucking mamadas. Like,
before Instagram.
Yeah, before Instagram. Fuck. And before everyone was addicted to their cell phones.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, you use your cell phone as a phone. Yeah. Not to take fucking pictures of your whole life.
But we had all this recorded on a camcorder.
I got that tape still somewhere.
There's a
Transvestite on the train. I'm trying to film this tranny, and then it like chases after me. There's some commotion. It's like, it was just a fucking weird. It was a weird fucking trip. But you're right. We had the camcorder. Man.
Yeah, we got all this on camcorder.
Back before cell phones, all we had to do was ruin our friends' lives.
That was great. We were just a bunch of assholes. That was a trip of just assholes. It was awesome. It was fun.
Yeah, people be sleeping and I'm recording them. Somebody gets the book and like,
scare them away. There's a shit you can't get away with now because we'd be filmed by 47 fucking people on the train doing that shit. You know what I mean?
You get canceled, everything you own.
we were jackassing before jackassing.
Fuck yeah, it was even a thing. Fuck yeah.
The original jackass.
But it was like non-stop bullshit. Like we went to the museum and like just carried a knife and then I had to go hide it. And, you know, because like, you're in fucking New York, you're gonna not take a knife. You know what I mean? And I had to go hide it outside because I walked in. They got fucking metal detectors in the art museum. What the fuck? And the guy's like, I was like, yeah, I got this knife, man. Can I get it? No, fuck no. Dude's like, you got a knife? I was like, yeah. So I went outside to hide it. You know what I mean? Then we come out. There's like fucking security scouring the building for my shit. You know what I mean? And I just walk up and grab it where I put it. We walked off. It was just funny. Like it was a bunch of little things like that. You know what I mean?
Walking around the museum with our balls hanging out of our pants. We'd just take our zipper out, pull our balls out, and just walk. And some people would notice, some wouldn't.
The people that would notice it would just like stare but not say shit. They'd be like, balls are out. Like, he doesn't know his balls are out. Like, just acting like nothing. Like, oh, that's some good painting. Like, balls are out. All these people like, I just know it. I'm just so funny, right? New Yorkers, no one's like, hey, there, buddy, your balls are hanging out there.
Hey, thanks.
Oh, shit, thanks.
Right, you don't want to be that guy that's like, balls!
But the looks, people would get, it would be crazy because they'd be like, are those balls? Right, imagine the story. Someone in New York, some fucking lady's telling right now. One time I was at the art museum, this guy's balls were hanging out of his pants. The craziest thing.
Right by the Mona Lisa.
Right by the Mona Lisa. It was balls in Mona Lisa.
I just love the thought of someone having that thought. Are those balls?
Yeah, because they do like a double take. Like, what's that on his pants? Oh, shit, that's his balls.
It's like one thing when you catch the flies open, but not when there's a sack hanging out of that motherfucker. Like, because that was a thing for the longest time before even that movie Waiting came out, right? The goat, I guess, like everybody having their balls out, you'd be pumping gas, turn around, like, oh fuck, fucking balls are out, like put them away.
Oh man,
That was fucking hilarious.
No one was hanging vag.
Nobody had Scoopy lips like that, you know.
that'd be a good one.
Maybe roast beefage. Or we're all dudes, you know what I mean? So if you had roast beef, it would be weird. It would be now you'd be able to have roast beef and be called a dude. You know what I mean? Not back when we grew up. Men were men.
Like, if you had balls, you let them hang out.
Yeah, you just let your balls dangle.
no question, right? If you're
And nobody was offended, right? Like, nobody was like, oh my God, his balls are out. Let's arrest him and put him on Facebook.
yeah, they need to mind their own business, right?
Yeah, mind their own fucking business.
His balls are out.
Balls are out.
I'm minding my business.
Is this not America?
Keeping my opinion to myself.
A man can't have his balls out.
When girls can show their be topless, nobody cares. Why can't you just let your balls hang?
Right?
It's not full shaft. It was just a sack.
Catch a nice breeze,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
My great grandfather didn't die in Vietnam, so I can't have my balls out.
And that's when you started, like, it really got in the era of, like, shaving your balls, too. So they were always nicely shaved. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't like a 70s show going on, you know? Some nice shaved balls, you know? You can appreciate that. You know, women appreciate shaved balls.
You put in some effort.
A little bit of effort into it. It's Nick, because I was just playing around. He brought a hooker all the way back to the hotel room.
This got real quick.
I just ate her out. That's it.
I just ate her ass.
Just ate her ass.
She just ate my ass.
It was San Francisco, and it was like, what, 92? I think it was like 92 or 97.
97.
97, okay, yeah. It's like 1997, you know what I mean? You were
I
still,
was only 3 years old. You're already eating ass.
you were just an afterthought of your dad's balls at the time. You were just swimming around there. So technically Noah was on the trip too. He just wasn't out of your sack yet. You know?
Damn, you're lucky. You could have ended up on some hooker's face. Instead, you're here to talk about balls.
It was just hilarious. The hooker comes out, her nose is all bleeding. Oh, fuck everyone now. Like, it's cool. Like,
Snorting. Well, she's like crystal or something.
Some shit.
It turns out they were just eating powdered donuts.
But Nick's like, oh, I didn't have sex with I didn't fuck her. We're like, bitch. You know what I mean? Fucking 2 pump chub. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
But I'm just eating ramen the rest of the week. I have no more money.
yeah, I have no more money.
You're
We can't go eat anywhere.
You're looking into like that movie, Very Bad Things.
Oh, right, almost.
Where you
did it.
fucking hang the hooker on the hook over her head.
I just wonder for reference how much the hooker cost that. You know, just in 97, like, what was the average price of a San Francisco hooker? Like, you know what I mean? Only Nick knows the answer to that question.
Man, and it's funny because me and him were walking down the street, and like I had never seen hookers, like it was like on TV, like
Oh, yeah.
like girls naked. Like I mean, I didn't know that was real.
Yeah.
Just a street full of like,
Just like, wow.
Right?
Where have I been my whole life?
You picked her up like a stray dog. Yeah, let's take
No.
her back to the hotel room.
Right?
You guys know where the men's district is?
Must be getting closer. No, so we're walking, and then some cops are like, "You two, get over here!" And me and Nick got like, "Oh, what?" Like, but they weren't talking to us; they were talking to some hookers.
Yeah.
And then one of the hookers just came and started walking with us, like, keep walking with me. Let me pretend I'm with you. So she was kind of walking with us. And then Nick's like, oh, let's go to the room. And, you know, that's when we took her to the room. And
You owe us.
you owe us. We saved
Yeah,
you.
right, we saved you, bitch. It's a freebie.
Yeah, like 911.
I just remember because we're all like drawing. I think it was tattooing Jesse or somebody. And I just the door opens, they fucking walk in with a hooker. She just stops. She goes, "Oh no, I'm not fucking everyone." like, oh, what did you bring me to? Like a gangbang? Like, I'm not fucking everyone. Like she was like, "Oh, you took up on nice guys." Turned into like, "Oh, you took me back to a room with a bunch of like JJ with his shirt off and his long hair, and Rob with his uncut toenails."
A dude with his balls out.
On that fucking trip, Rob's fucking laying down. Your uncle's laying down on the fucking one of the benches, right? And they thought he was homeless and tried to kick him out because he had like crazy toenails, like he's wearing a flip flop. Remember? And he was like sleeping, like, "Hey, bro, you know you can't be sleeping."
Sir,
inside
you can't be in
He's
here.
like, I'm waiting for my plane. Oh, okay, you're on a plane. Okay, cool.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm
so
so
transient. Like, totally. I mean, because he had in San Francisco that long hair and like fucking, he's real hair. You know what I mean? He looked like a hippie kind of dude. You know what I mean?
You know, like a werewolf that just got done transitioning.
A werewolf singing, leading the Grateful Dead.
Like last night was the full moon. He's demonstrating back.
I was sleeping it off. I was out perusing shit, killing vampires all night.
He's in a Grateful Dead cover band. Funny. Oh, that's so funny.
Because he did. Like, he kind of looked like. I even have a picture, man. We used to have him around here. I know I still have them. I kept them somewhere. But he even looks like Jerry Garcia. We're in front of the Green Door. He's like, you know what I mean? Like, the Green Door is the place where they used to make pornos back in the day. It was like real fun. It's just like sex club, actually. You know? But we're all in front of it, like we're all cool.
It's
you
a
know
big
what I mean?
learning day for Noah.
Tattoo conventions are always crazy, though, right? Because I remember, like, we go to this one place and we didn't know that the street over, I guess, was like the where the gay guys' street was. You know what I mean?
We didn't know. We
No,
didn't.
we're there. We didn't know. We didn't mind.
And then you guys were like,
No, but all the good food was on that street. Like you went there because all the better food.
That's how they got it. That's how they got it.
We make the best food. Daddy, come over here. No, but we walk in this one place.
hunks from Texas.
We walk into this one joint and we're like, Samson, what's good here? He's like, chicken sandwich,
like you are.
burger, like whatever. And then we're just like, all right. Like he's like, fuck, like you guys shouldn't be in here. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna get some. You know, we hear the gay cooks are the best, so we're here for some cuisine. And then JJ,
heard they
I think it's
cook.
JJ and Rob. They walk in next door, right? There's music playing, and it's playing some shit like fucking like Judas Priest.
Yeah,
or
right.
Some old rock. And then they're big rockers, right? So they walk in, then they come back out, and I start walking to go too, like, oh, what's going on? Like JJ grabs me by the arm. He's like, don't whatever you do not walk in there. Don't walk in there. You didn't want to know. And then when we walk outside, it's like a leather daddy, like fucking like five-year bar,
Like a police hat.
Yeah, it was totally it's 97. You gotta go back in time, you know.
damn.
When we walk out, we're like, oh yeah, wow, okay then.
I don't like Judas Priest that
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Breaking the law's got a whole new terminology to me now. You know what I mean?
Damn, so you got your life saved for the third time. Fuck.
That was by JJ though, because JJ was like, "Let's go, guys!" Like he was so traumatized.
I've been here before. Trust me, you don't want
It was
to.
so funny. You don't want to see what I just saw in that room. Whatever you do, don't look in there. Is what he said. Like whatever you do, don't look in there. So I was thinking donkey show. Like what's going on in there? Because
I think I'm
It
down.
was, but it was a dude as the donkey. That was funny though.
Yeah, saying you don't want to see that makes you want to see it more, huh?
Nah, fuck no, not that. You already knew by the leather daddy scene in front. We're like, nah, we're good.
He was trying to do reverse psychology. Like, you don't want to go in here. No, I think I do want to go.
Right. How about you? What's going on with you moving to Austin?
I don't know.
You don't know?
In the works.
Damn. Here, there's a real nice red light district down there.
Lot of
Can't
dudes.
wait to.
Young college dudes.
Couple good streets.
Main Street's good. Main Street.
I know, like on the 6th Street, like all the bars are, it's like
Yeah.
the 4th, 5th, and I think like the 6th Street's like the main one, and then like 5th is like all the, like that gay street. Never been there though. I've heard.
Immediately, this street's where I go to meet the dudes on my skateboard.
You don't want to go down there.
I just heard about it. Yeah, so where's your new apartment? Oh, it's on 5th Street. It's good.
I mean, but how do you feel about that being a younger cat? You know what I mean? Like, you know, the whole woke thing and all that stuff. I mean, you know.
Like what?
Does it even phase you, or it's normal, or like dudes being chicks and chicks being dudes, and like, you know what I mean?
He goes by him.
Yeah.
They,
What are your pronouns?
He's-
Because Noah has his pronouns on his Instagram bio, right?
Yeah, I go by when. When.
Ever?
Ever.
Because
I go
he's
by-
down
I go by
whenever.
Shit. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it's just, to me, it's complicating something that doesn't need to be complicated. Like, if you like dudes and bang dudes, if you like girls, well, bang girls. Like, you know what, if you want to.
I just think it's out of my control, so like I really don't care.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going into it, so I really don't care. I don't surround myself with that stuff.
Oh
So.
yeah, that's probably a good thing.
I think most people don't care. I really think most people don't care.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
for
just
sure.
a loud
Then you think
community.
no, but do you think the media then hypes it up more?
Oh yeah, they hype it up
Just
more.
to hype it up to make it a thing.
Yeah,
I think if
exactly.
only like it's maybe like weird things with like,
The kitty litter boxes in schools.
or like their kids interacting with that.
Did you see that?
I'm totally for that, by the way.
The kids that identify as cats, they were like wanting to put a kitty litter, and then the parents got all upset about it at the school because you shouldn't be shitting in the cat box. You want to take a shit litter box from you? I think that shit's
In
just
the corner.
absurd. Like, what the fuck? Like, how's that even possible? Like, is this even real news?
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's just
saying.
like,
It's
you know
like
what I
the
mean? Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the other parents feeling weird about their students interacting with that, or their kids interacting with that at school.
Yeah, because I don't think it's weird. I mean, I don't think.
But yeah, but like I don't think there's any other like headlinings. It's
Yeah.
just always that. No, I mean that's all I hear. Like parents are outraged that their student or their son is interacting with a girl going in their restroom, or their daughter has this boy.
That's what I'm saying. The way, like, on a psychology point of view, do you think, like, some people, because I know some people are like, if I got to put up with your shit, I'm going to make up shit that you've got to put up with me. So you think it's a lot of that is happening?
Yeah,
Like,
it seems like it because I think it's unnecessary. That's why I was saying it's like if you're into dudes being like nobody cares. Like no one's ever has it. We all have gay friends. I mean, it's not like it's weird being gay. I think that's been embraced since maybe before our generation. Maybe it wasn't, but I think our generation it was no big deal. Like we all had gay
It
friends
could,
growing
and
up. We
yeah,
had-
so it was normal. So they had
For us,
to.
It's always been normal.
So they had to
Make it weird.
make it weird. Yeah.
Well, I do have a problem because I have daughters with like a dude going to go to the bathroom when my daughter's in there. 12-year-old, you know what I
And he
mean? 'Cause
pulls
then
out
it-
a cock right there.
Well, he could because there's dudes that are just deviant, like sex deviants. They're not. They can just say, "Oh, I'm transgender," but they're not. They're just trying to rape girls. You know? So that's like, how do you define that line? You know, where you're keeping like the women's restroom safe for women. You know what I mean? Or because a lot of bad shit happened, and there's stories all over the news about it.
Yeah, like they're giving up common sense.
Yeah, common sense. Yeah.
They're giving up common sense that everybody agrees on.
Yeah, it's like they're putting their feelings over facts, which is weird. Like, since we're going backwards now.
Yeah, going backwards.
Because if you have boobs and you got a dick and you want to be called Sally and we respect that and whatever, you know what I mean? I get that. But I mean, it's like, yeah, we got to piss in the dude's room because you still got a wiener. Like now, if you've chopped it off, I guess, and you've gone full blown tuck and roll, well then now, I mean, I think then now you can use the female restroom. Does that make sense? Because you've transgendered, you've gone through the operation. You know what I mean? You're now technically physically a woman, right?
Technically, they still have a little penis.
It's still in there.
But is that a engorged
No,
clitoris?
no,
no,
just-
but they might. Do they keep a little nub? I don't know. I've never like looked into gender surgery. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. I just think that's kind of weird. I just didn't know at your generation if that's something.
I don't know.
You guys
I
kind of
think
deal with at school
like
or
when
it's
I went to Coachella, they had. I mean, I was staying at the campground, and they had all the guys' porta potties, all the girls, and then right next to each side was like a non-gender, like anyone could go in there. And then yeah, like
Probably
sometimes
smelled like semen in there, huh?
Yeah, but is that the most less used one? So that's one you'd want to go into,
It's the
right?
clean
no,
one.
like everyone they would use it just like, and then even girls would go to like the guys if their line was long, they would go wait in this one to go in that.
But I think it's a porta potty, like.
But then it felt weird because then I was like, oh, it's like on our side, like. I don't like that they're
I
coming.
don't like that.
No, but think about this. Who gives a fuck who's using
No,
the porta potty?
no,
It's like you go and close the door. It's any toilet.
It's a
Why would
shithole,
you even
like,
have dude and girl porta potties? That in itself to me makes no sense, right?
That's what I'm
There should
saying.
be
No one
porta
really
potties.
cared.
Like you shit in there.
And then in the festival, they had a big girls one, a big guys one, and then a big one, like even bigger than both, and it was just all, like the non-gender. And yeah, everyone was going up. No one cared.
Yeah.
See, I choose the non-gender one every time.
Fuck yeah,
'cause
you see badges.
that's the one with the glory hole.
That's what you want to go to, right? Like you're gonna see bitches pee and everything. Like why not? You know what I mean? Like that. I mean.
Or a bunch of guys walking around with their balls hanging out.
Renee?
But see, I wonder if you can get canceled for that. Like now with this cancel culture bullshit, like just be funny like that.
Man, like you saying it, it's funny, but like the balls out is kind of a lot.
See, so you're
I just offended. Yeah, get out of here.
See, because for us it was like, hey, your balls are out,
It's
like no big deal.
funny.
Like, yeah, his balls are out again. Like,
Toad, is that funny or offensive?
My balls are out right now.
You see?
Stop being homophobic and look at those balls, goddammit.
see, so why would it make you feel weird?
Like
about
it
balls?
wouldn't make me feel weird, but I
balls make it feel weird.
He's getting all
Like,
shy.
I like if I saw someone hanging balls. I mean, I would think it was funny, and then I'll be like, okay, like,
I'm writing you up, sir.
put those balls away.
But what happens if it was like, let's
No,
say,
but I'm
let's say
saying-
church, and this
Or
balls
I'm
are
just
hanging out
saying like you were there and your daughter's like, oh dad, what is that?
balls.
And how
I mean, you gotta remember, come on, you're raised in a tattoo shop. And all their kids were. Like, they've already been raised for that. There's just some balls hanging out the shop. They go right back. You go right back to playing your video game. Oh, my dad's balls are out again. Let me go back to playing my Nintendo.
my dad's just hanging balls, guys. Sorry.
It was not, I don't think that'd be anything irregular. You know what I mean? I think you guys are probably grew up more emotionally unstable.
No, but yeah, nowadays you do that, you're getting
Yeah, you're getting
handcuffed and you're getting.
But like it is kind of like the exposing yourself now. I mean, it's
there's
like
no
it's no wiener.
It's a wiener.
There's no
It's
shaft.
balls.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just a
Zero shaft is seen.
Yeah,
There's
zero
zero
shaft.
shaft.
If there's no shaft in helmet, because come on, if you see some tits hanging out, how do you feel about boobs out?
I think it's the intention. Like that's 100% comedy. Balls out, everyone knows
Balls
that's
out's common,
comedy.
yeah, dude.
Right? Leave your tits out. What kind of sick fuck?
It is comedy.
I mean, and I guess in the
I'm just saying, me
you have to do it
personally.
tastefully. Like, you don't go to McDonald's by the playground and then have your balls hanging out. You know what I mean?
In the museum next to the Mona Lisa.
But see, that's art. And
art.
there's dicks and balls out in the museum when you walk around. There are, though. There's statue of David, his little wiener right there. Like, but that's not offensive, right?
I think
Bottle's
it's funny.
favorites.
I really think
Oh no,
funny.
it's big.
Is it big? No, I've seen, okay, I thought it was small. Like,
I think it's pretty huge.
oh, okay. He's like, God, little dick Dre.
Damn, these statues are fucking hung, man.
That thing could kill you.
How's anybody safe?
Oh,
I
wait.
could put an eye out.
You just slowly put your balls away. Shame.
Oh, wait till my girlfriend sees that.
Let's just go down that way, babe.
It ain't realistic.
It's a statue. It's like 1:32 ratio.
It's exactly. He's a god. I don't understand.
He's a god. Zeus.
Yeah, they don't make them like that no more.
There's not enough skin to go around.
It's all in the balls now.
Oh fuck. And so we have a segment on here when we have guests, when we give them some questions to answer. We call it the Black Lantern.
Fuck yeah.
You want to answer some questions?
Fuck yeah, of course.
Excuse me.
Just reach in there randomly and pick one.
Did you mind if I take my balls out?
Be my guest. Noah?
Okay, let's see. Would you rather lose eyesight, hearing, or taste? Ooh, that's a tough one.
Now what am I gonna do on Fifth
Well,
Street?
if you lose your eyesight, you don't have to look at balls anymore. That's a benefit. Or taste, fuck. I think
Eyesight, hearing.
I would say hearing.
Damn.
Damn.
Because that's the one thing where you like, you know what I mean? I lost it one
Music.
time. You remember when I was sick? Yeah, music. You lose
Damn,
music.
music's tough.
The old lady can never bitch at you anymore. You know what I mean?
There's always a
You don't
silver
hear
lining.
clients screaming in pain when you're tattooing them.
Man, music's a tough one though.
Oh yeah. But technically, you can hear vibration, right? So maybe if you just, you know,
Or have you ever
To,
seen at concerts they have that lady now that like does like that?
sign language. Yeah. No, yeah, fuck yeah.
You ever heard jamming?
Yeah.
Signing the
yeah.
song.
No, that's actually true though, right? So. Because it would suck if you
Taste
couldn't
is
taste the
crazy.
food though. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You couldn't taste it.
I'm a huge foodie, so. But I think I would choose taste, but it would suck so much. But I mean, it's a close between hearing and taste.
I would choose taste too. Yeah, I love food, and I'd be so sad. But I think losing your eyesight would just be so debilitating that it would fuck up your life. And yeah, I mean, I'm like a musician, so losing I'd rather go blind than go deaf. So like losing my hearing would be like the worst thing in life.
Damn, I love food too, but yeah, I would say taste. Yeah, hearing's just.
Yeah,
something
here's-
you couldn't
here-
live without. Yeah.
Hear someone coming.
Would you rather
You
lose?
could never taste pussy again. How sad would that be? You could taste the vagina again. You'd just be like, maybe like nothing. You know what I mean? I guess if you're one of those dudes that doesn't eat pussy, then it wouldn't matter. You know what I mean?
Then you could be there all day.
But you'd never know what a good discada tastes like. Or badass. How would you know you're eating a bad, dirty butthole if you can't taste it?
Oh, you know, I was gonna say like that's a plus. Like you don't have to taste if the girl's dirty, but I guess it's bad because you don't know that you're being poisoned.
Or she's on her period and you're just going to town. It's like rusty pennies all over your face. You know what I mean? So, I mean, everyone's got that. Have you got your red wings yet? No, not yet. If you had it, okay. It's happening to all of us. You know,
Red wings.
How about you? Have you gotten your red wings?
Oh yeah.
There's always that one girl that doesn't tell you she's fucking bleeding out her twat when you're eating your ass. You're like, the fuck? You know what I mean?
You're just like, damn, you're so wet.
Come up looking like Jeffrey Dahmer.
No, I haven't.
Still a virgin, huh?
Oh. Fuck. What about your brown wings?
Got those.
When I was 12.
I got that when I was 7.
I miss Theo Hoovy. Oh fuck.
Don't get to see him no more.
Do we get to do another question, or because
Yeah.
that was kind of cool?
Yeah, we can do
Is
another one.
that- I
Yeah,
don't know
but
if
for
we're- I
sure,
don't know if we're limited.
for sure not eyesight, huh?
No.
It should be so debilitating, right?
No, yeah. I mean, at least you got to see that ass, right? You know. I thought that was a cool question. That was a really cool idea you guys have there. Cool concept.
Even feel would be a.
Have no sex. That would be.
I mean,
rough.
you could, but.
Well, you wouldn't have sex then, right? If you couldn't feel.
My boyfriend
But I'm
lasted
sure you
4
could fuck it
hours,
hard,
42 hours.
But how? Well, I don't know. Maybe yeah. But randomly though, right? Because if you couldn't feel, then how would you know to get? You'd be like a paraplegic. You'd be like the guy that.
And would you know when you're coming? No.
No, because you probably wouldn't get hard. You'd be like the guy.
No, I'm sure you could get hard now.
Yeah, I think
Take
you'd get
I mean,
hard.
like, you can make a-
randomly, but it'd be like, oh, my dick's hard, and then you'd have the fucking girl like, hey, come on, my dick's hard right now. I don't know what happened, but it's there. You jump on it, right? You have to stop in the middle of the grocery
So
store.
that's
run to the
probably
corner.
that Playgirl you're reading.
What's happening to me right now?
Am I on 5th Street?
It was interesting that everybody went for taste with me. You know what I mean? Everybody, maybe some chubbier than everybody else here.
Now it's a tough one, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's tough.
it's because I love food so much, but yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't live without.
Yeah, life will get a lot more depressing if you didn't have taste. Like,
No,
it'd be
yeah.
fucking brutal.
I mean, but hearing, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I guess it's the circumstances. Like, I can drive home with no music on and just sit in
but even
silence.
driving without listening to traffic or horn or a honk or anything
yeah,
would be
you're right,
rough.
yeah.
Or walking down the street without listening to cars, or
Yeah.
I think it's more survival.
Or someone breaking into your house or something like that. Or, right.
Yeah, that'd be scary.
The feeling one would be crazy because, yeah, how do you know, like, you're injured or you're getting a disease or something's wrong with you? Like, how would you tell? You wouldn't know.
Oh, no, yeah. You just be bleeding out. You never know, yeah. Okay, come on. Let's go to the next question. This is another good, this is a good one. If you could be any animal, what would you choose?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, you gotta go first. I already went
Um,
first. It'd be rude to go for me to go first. Right?
dragon?
Does that count? Is that a real dragon? Is that mythical?
A bearded
A
dragon.
bearded dragon? No, I don't know.
Or Japanese dragon?
Maybe like a. I don't know, something cool, like a panther, or
So you want to be black? Cool.
like a cheetah would be cool. But yeah, I don't even know. Like a. Maybe go turtle for the long run, or
Sea turtle.
horse for the cock.
What's this horse doing on 5th Street?
what world am I in? Damn, yeah, I don't know.
I may not have my Red Wings, but I'm.
But I'm like a horse.
He'd be the hamster that gets put up someone's ass.
But then it'd be hard to have sex, right? Because I mean, you'd be too hung. You know what I mean? So maybe you want to like not as big of a cock. You know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. You?
I don't know. That's why I was perplexed by that question. I think I'll wait to go last. I want to hear what everybody else has to say. What animal would you be, Xander?
I think we all know what it
A kitty cat.
is. No, honestly, I'd probably be like a bird, like some kind of raptor. That just seems like an amazing experience.
Able to fly.
I was gonna say that too, like an eagle or
An eagle.
serve America.
Everyone respects me. Right?
That's a way to experience flight. You know, that's a good one. You know, that was one of the first things I thought about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then they're pretty intelligent, right? So I wouldn't be just some completely mindless animal.
And if you stay here, they'll take care of you.
Whatever Noah would be, I'd be something that was just a little bit tougher.
What's tougher than a horse?
You gotta,
A mule.
you gotta do the predator. I want to be yours, predator.
Now I would probably go with like a hawk or something, or maybe something in the water.
In the water?
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
fuck, that's
Oh, you rely
crazy.
on the turtle, fucking shark. You live
Yeah,
in the
shark
water?
would be cool, or
Yeah,
some kind of
shark.
fast, like a.
Fast predatory animal.
Like a what are those? The killer whales would be cool. Those things are violent.
I think I'd rather be a shark though, because you're more of a predator animal, so people kind of stay the fuck away from you.
Oh, they stay away.
No, orcas are brutal too, huh,
Fuck, no,
aren't
they
they?
go whaling and
No,
fucking-
orcas
You got
are-
all these Chinese boats rounding you up and fucking harvesting your blubber and shit.
But
Like,
orcas eat sharks.
Wait,
yeah, but
shark
they still
fin
trap
soup?
them and then stick your ass in SeaWorld. Then your fin falls over and you die all sad.
But not after
Attack your
that.
trainer.
Not after the documentary.
Or at least in your last seconds of life, you get to rape the girl that's fucking
Oh, yeah.
beating you and beating you for the
We
past
snap her in
5
half and eat her head off.
Like a marlin or something, or
grouper.
a grouper.
I'd be like
Tuna.
a tuna.
Bluefin or yellowtail.
I'd be a seahorse so I can get pregnant.
Or something lame like a minnow or.
What's wrong with minnows?
Yeah, I think flight and something in the water would be kind of cool.
Man, I think water would be horrible.
Really?
I think you live a horrible, brutal life in the water.
Damn. You think?
Always cold. Especially in
Yeah,
the
it's probably
ocean.
always cold and it's just like scary. Like that's an abyss of monsters. Like,
Yeah, it's a whole different world that we're not even aware of.
I'm sure they kind of know what they got going on down there.
They know where not to go.
Like an octopus would be cool too.
octopus would be
Like
cool.
that.
Giant squid.
I just don't want to get eaten. That would suck.
What animal is what's the apex predator in great white shark, right? Not the apex predator in the ocean.
I would think an orca, right?
I don't think orcas fuck with great whites.
They do.
Do they fuck them up? Yeah.
Remember when we flew to San Francisco? Wasn't there the day before that day we got in? Remember, wasn't there a orca killing? Was it a great white or the great?
Well, you're right. It might have been.
Remember that?
No, I remember that now. Yeah.
Damn.
I think the great whites. I think they're bigger. Yeah, I don't think a shark fucks with a great white or with the
Why-
orca.
Well, it's because I don't know. I think sharks are lone animals, right? But orcas, they're pack animals.
Are they?
So, yeah, so they fuck you up in a group because they hunt together.
Oh,
in a
man.
group, you know. They protect their babies in a group, the whole nine.
Yeah, they're vicious.
Like an eagle, I don't think anything fucks with an eagle either, right?
Mm-mm.
Or a hawk, or I'm sure they're all zero predators.
Jet airplane, maybe that's it. Gets out the motor,
The Wi-Fi.
spit you out.
Or like those great horned owls that are huge and
That'd be
they're
cool.
like predators too, or like
I don't
raptors
know,
or
there.
things are cool.
Like a hawk or an eagle, you'd have like badass vision. You could see for miles and miles away.
I don't want to be a fly and just fly into all the locker rooms. all the guy
Oh.
locker rooms.
There you go. Just
So you can see
just
balls?
3 days on Fifth Street, right?
I see balls everywhere. Locker room. Fly would kind of suck because I mean everybody wants to kill a fly, right? Flies are annoying as fuck.
But I feel like if I had my intelligence, I would know where to go. Like flies, like they'll land like right here. I'm not. I'm staying up top.
But maybe they have bad hearing, so they gotta get close so they can hear you talking about podcasts. I mean, I don't have a problem with flies either until they like buzz in your fucking face and everywhere. You have to fuck away. You know what I mean? Or shitting in your food, crawling in your drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You? What'd you pick?
I don't even fucking know after talking. I was thinking gorilla at the beginning because I
Nice.
still have hands. I could eat bananas, big bitches. It's not much different from being a human, right? You know? Since you don't got to put up with anybody's bullshit. You live in the jungle. Especially if you're a silverback gorilla, you know what I mean? You run the show, bang many bitches, like, you know what I mean? Go
Yeah.
down by the river and
Leader of the
chill.
pack.
It just seems like a real simple life if you're like, you know what I mean? Like, as a gorilla, you know? Even if you got put in a zoo, I guess it wouldn't be that bad, you know what I mean? As long as you got some...
Yeah, right. Nothing hunts a gorilla.
Not really, nah.
You're just kind of like have to worry about like snakes and stuff like that, right?
Maybe lions?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Maybe
big
hunt
big cats don't
gorillas,
hunt because I know big cats hunt like chimps. So
They
I
might.
wonder if they
might.
hunt.
I think if you're like a wounded gorilla, I'm sure they would sense it. And lions hunt in packs too.
Where
so-
where would a gorilla be? Where
They're
I'm
usually
trying
in
to
the
think.
jungle.
They're-
like
Like-
what continent?
I'm thinking Africa, right?
Asia.
I always see like those
I
videos of
see that
like
they were in
those.
South America too, if I'm not mistaken. But
Like a silverback would be like in the Congo.
Uh-huh.
Man,
Man, that
there's
would be
no-
so
there
scary.
be lions in the Congo. There's lions and leopards and
Inside the a
Yeah,
lion, because I always
villages,
thought
so, you know.
lions were more like in the open plains.
not because there's Asian lions. There's there's lions.
there's
in
Asian
Africa.
lions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there'll be some in the jungle, like
A
in
lion?
the trees, and then there'll be
Really?
some like
Like a mountain lion, or not like a
It's like
with
you
a
have
mane,
Asian
right?
elephants and you know what I mean.
kind
I know in
of.
Asia they have tigers, but I didn't know they had
I
elephants,
don't know, they got
lions.
jaguars too, which is crazy, right? Because jaguars are like also in panthers and jaguars are in South America as well. You know,
Yeah, I could see a
not
tiger
lions though, but jaguars are.
and like a jaguar and stuff. But yeah, I don't think.
Okay, yeah, maybe not a lion.
Yeah, lions are more like in the plains.
The Sahara and
Yeah, like
Madagascar.
Well, I don't know. Not according to the Jungle Book, they ain't. They ain't motherfucking jungle book. Because you got to remember, there's jungle areas. I'm just saying, there's jungle areas that are right next to the cities. You know what I mean? So they kind of go in and out.
Yeah, right.
Maybe
I can
it's
see
just
that.
That's why you gotta have like that extra computer to pull up shit like fucking Rogan show and fucking you can check it back real quick. Right, so you're talking some bullshit, you can fact check it real quick. Like,
Toad.
Yeah, we asked this guy.
Yeah,
but
we
he's
asked
no,
him.
he's no help.
He's not that reliable. He does his
so needs a
best.
laptop.
He is a
Don't need myself
laptop.
a fucking laptop. Like a facts where we were talking about where fucking lions roam. No
Yeah.
one paid attention in geography apparently.
Last time we gave him a laptop, it had a bunch of malware and boobs on the search history.
Images of toasters.
Pictures of
Toasters.
toasters.
We should just
Pictures
bring
of frogs.
chat. Frogs. We should just bring chat back. He did a better job.
He did do a good job.
What do you think of AI and everything that it's doing?
I don't know. It's interesting. I read that article today about the dude that for Google stepped down, right? Because he's afraid that it's going to be used for nefarious reasons.
Really?
Yeah, you didn't see that? The head developer
No.
for Google stepped down. Yeah, he quit his job because he said that thinks fucking AI is going to ruin our existence, you know? For them, like, shit, using chat GPT, I was like, fuck, if you're still in school now, motherfucker, write your whole fucking paper for you. I think, like, knowing these motherfuckers would be like, yeah, now you go to college, you just, like, chat you 3 keywords and bullshit. Now you got a
Man,
900-page
We're
essay.
talking about that the other
900 word
day.
essay already done, and you just go out and party all night. So from now on, it would mean you would never need to be technically educated again.
Man, like I'm taking online school and like
Yeah.
there's no teacher like watching over me and yeah, like
You got to write an essay, a paper, right? You can just go to chat GPT.
I've never used it to write papers, but just like stupid questions that they'll
But you know, a teacher can put it into Chat GPT and ask it if it wrote it, and it'll tell you it
so-
wrote it.
Well, because I was watching, that's what they were talking about, that eventually you wouldn't need to go to college. You'd do it straight through AI would teach you. So no more going to university. You know what I mean? You go online and then Chat GTP or whatever another AI style can then teach you.
But right now, it can't. It just grabs off anything online. I guess it'll grab. So it's not a truth,
It's
It
not
doesn't have a-
generating new ideas.
or it doesn't have a truth checker or a fact checker.
Well, they had one that they shut down in some college that they had developed because it had created its own language
I saw that.
to speak to some, so that
And
they
supposedly,
could-
like, one started talking to the other one in its
Yeah, they-
encrypted language, and they're like, no.
turn that shit off because they're like, fuck, now they're talking about us. Like, you know what I mean? These fools,
That
these
guy
fools want to
fucking
they want to toast
sucks.
us in the toaster oven. Now, they shut that shit down because it got so smart. Because that's what they say about AI, right? That it's 1,000 years ahead of us in evolution. Meaning that your cell phone, that's why they say cell phones control people. Since they're AI platforms, and AI has been running for at least 25 years, right? The top hedge fund companies have been picking stocks and investments using AI for over 25 years. So that's the scary part, right? You know, and those are the top 5 major, most money making ones have been using AI for 25 years. So that's why they talk about your cell phone, like, it's so much smarter than you because it actually, we haven't evolved. Our mind hasn't physically evolved as quick as an AI can learn.
But I say it's not smarter than you because I don't think AI or your phone can come up with its own idea. It's just more like a. It's just like a. It's
Regurgitating ideas that are online.
yeah. It's just regurgitating,
Even
and
though-
it doesn't even know if they're true ideas yet.
Even fucking scarier though, right? You know what I mean? If it knows everything online, then it's already seen the fucking, what's that movie, Terminator?
Oh yeah.
No, but you know what I'm saying, right? You know what I mean?
Skynet.
How would it distinguish? Yeah, Skynet. How would it distinguish? You know, how come in all those movies? That's what's scary about AI, right? And all those futuristic movies, it's all about like the machines. The best thing for the planet is always to kill the human race. Like, you know what I mean? Isn't that a trip though? You know?
But I guess
Oh,
it
yeah,
always
right.
turns like you said, like it could do many more computations a second than the human brain can. But like you said, it's not generating new ideas. So like in those movies and those stories, what always happens is when it turns, it's when the computer starts thinking for it and it starts making new ideas.
Yeah.
And then it thinks, oh shit, like the humans aren't good or this and that.
Well, the case in point, the system that made its own encrypted language and started talking. Wouldn't you say that is at least the beginning, if not the hint of individuality of doing exactly what you said that they don't do?
But it must have been
Yeah.
told it. Somebody must have told it to do it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
But that's what was scary. These kids that developed it so much is that supposedly it hadn't. If it's in a controlled environment, then, you know what I mean, the computer just starts thinking for itself.
Yeah, I need to look into it because yeah, from what I've seen and heard, I don't think AI can.
and then I think they could like program them to like think a certain way or like act a certain way. But yeah, like I'm saying, it has to be like given an instruction. But yeah, if so, like that's nuts.
But if it's self-learning, then what you're saying to me would not be true, only for this thing that if it's self-learning and it's got access to, let's say, unlimited information on the internet.
It could improve itself.
Oh yeah, or it can take just all of our human traits or what's going on or blogs or, all of that. And I don't know, like, what I mean? I don't think it could feel emotionally like, like it's but why could it not want to protect itself? Does that make sense? Right? That's what everybody's basic
Yeah, see,
need is
I don't think
self-preservation.
I don't think it would. At the moment, I don't think it even understands, or it would understand to protect itself. And but once it has that little self-awareness,
Yeah.
yeah, it's still gonna grow. Like it'll never. You can't backtrack it, or
No, yeah,
or
yeah,
it'll
you can't
just keep.
undo it. Yeah, you can't undo that.
Yeah, like
But then
the bird
when you
will.
go into survival mode, where since technically everything is transferred over, wire or Ethernet, or then could the AI ever actually be totally turned off if it already got into a network? And if the network's in the school connecting out to everything and the internet, could then it like? And I don't know if it's possible. I'm sure there's a movie on it that we haven't seen, or maybe somebody's seen.
There is a
someone
movie
too.
on that, right?
Yeah,
where
where-
it's hiding and it keeps traveling, and
Okay,
they have to
okay.
find
So there's
it.
already like a movie about that. So I mean, I don't know if that's true. I mean, because the survival instinct for any creature, if it became even remotely self-aware, would want to survive.
Do you think a computer can ever have like a? I mean, because me and him are always debating this, like not a soul, but like a consciousness, or would it ever be? Or what do you define consciousness
They have
as?
emotions, maybe, or
Your soul. Well, what's weird, right, is fucking Elon Musk trying to implant those chips, right, into people's minds. You've seen that, right? So you can live forever.
Okay, so yeah, we talk about that.
They've
So
been
yeah,
killing, they killed a bunch of fucking pigs putting the chips in there, and so all these PETA people are in uproar about it.
yeah, put like the consciousness into the chip, or
Yeah, so transferring your consciousness into like your chip, so that if your physical body deteriorates, and they can then pluck your chip out. They're sticking like, which would be, I mean, how's that possible to put your soul on a chip, right? Like maybe memory catalog or events that I could see that like a recording device. But
and
then,
that's
like,
what we say. I would think if they did that to you, then it would just be Danny from the moment you got that past. It'll
Oh, of
never
course,
be.
yeah.
It'll never.
Or maybe it could harness your old memories that you know what I mean, like any memories you can recall from your cerebral cortex. I don't know.
No, that's what I'm saying. It would be everything that's past, but it could never be a future you, or it could never make future decisions that you've never made.
Oh no, but couldn't it remember when you were like a baby and you couldn't? Like, you know what I mean, the first little toy you got, or the first time you had chocolate milk, because it could go into your mind and pull
it's in
all
there
these,
somewhere. Like it's,
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they say we only use 10% of our brains. Is that information in there where that chip could then grasp? So then, like, somebody on a computer could be watching, like, the first time you took a shit, the first time you sucked a nipple. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's what's kind of perplexing.
They hooked up an AI to a brain, and as they were telling a man images, certain parts of your brain light up, and they were showing the AI what the images were. Like, oh, that's a giraffe. Like they'll tell a guy a giraffe, show the AI the giraffe, and the AI would read the brain pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So they said as long as you do that enough, it'll be able to read your dreams. Once it knows all your thoughts and the way your brain
Fires, yeah.
fires,
Synapses.
you'd fall asleep, and then in the morning you could replay your dream, like a video.
That'd
so I
be
guess-
cool, or would that be fucking too weird?
But that would be almost like you're saying what that chip would be doing, just reading all your
But that's what I'm
thoughts.
saying.
So yeah, so you'd have to put
They're
the
saying transferring your conscience so that you can then be put into a clone of yourself, I guess, or I don't know, or you know what I mean, or your dog Skippy. You know what I mean, like put that chip in Skippy. You know what I mean?
And I say no. I don't think you could transfer consciousness.
I don't think, but that's because you're religious too, though, right? You believe in some sort of higher being.
You agree on that?
I'm spiritual, yeah, for sure. I'm not religious because I feel religion's of just a control mechanism. Like they use that to control us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because back in the day, like you wouldn't be scared for raping and pillaging and killing all these people, but you'd be scared to go to hell. So that's what helped keep people in line to a certain extent. Maybe certain people now, but I think that control mechanism is kind of now with science, kind of downplayed the whole control thing. You know what I mean?
Keeping you from hanging balls.
Fuck yeah. Well, some people do. Some
Like
people.
you do it and then you, I don't want to go to hell.
Think about the dudes. Think about the dudes that beat themselves as atonement for fucking having like bad thoughts. Oh, I saw Nurse Sarah and I wanted to fuck her. I go back and then you go and you start saying Hail Marys and whipping yourself as atonement. Like some people are so religious that they
Yeah,
do
it's
shit
crazy.
like that. Yeah.
Fuck, I better make sure I go to heaven.
Yeah. Like, cause right? 'Cause don't some people just use religion as to like snort, blow, and bang whores all weekend, and then go to church to make themselves like I can go to heaven if I'm forgiven. Yeah,
That's why I go to
oops.
church.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, it's more of a thing to give you like a get out of jail free card, right? Because I know with Catholicism, you can kind of basically which makes Catholicism different from Christianity, right? Is that you can get forgiven like by Hail Marys when you go and you confess to the priest. Even though the Bible kind of tells you that's a no-no, right? Like that's not true. I guess it depends on what religion you're.
You know
you're
what
looking at it
the
from.
exchange is for whores to Hail Marys?
It's like 10-1, I think.
10-1.
Yeah.
And that's way when the priest is listening to some girl and she's like, I cheated on my husband 3 times. And he's like, all right, well, who are you? Like,
So what did you do exactly?
If you blow me in the back and say 12 Hail Marys, you'll be forgiven. No, but then I'm just saying. So religion and that aspect of control is the Catholic priest is now letting your sins go for you when you're supposed to, like in Christianity, ask God for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
But the weird thing is that the asterisk in the Bible that says we only call God out of what's it called, out of what the fuck is the asterisk tell you? You've read it, haven't you? In the Bible where it says God is not God, out of tradition. We call God is God's name out of tradition. That's not his real name. So you get guys that are really into religion that they won't pray to God because God is not real. Like he's got a name and it's not that. You know what I mean? That's how the shit's so twisted. That's what I'm saying. Religion in itself is so twisted. Like, where do you go for your context for religion? Like your spirituality. Where do you derive that from? The Bible, from another source? Where is it?
I guess, yeah, maybe I think there's a lot everywhere. Everybody has some bits and pieces. And I think, I mean, I really do. Well, I mean, I think the Bible was probably written or told by him to certain, through Moses but I think it's gotten so twisted that maybe, I mean, and yeah, I think you'd have to get to its original text and.
Well, it is. If you go back to Samaria, then it's basically like the first Dom was created from the Anunnaki, which is really striking to the Adam being born. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That was like they created the Lulu Amelo, which was the worker race. And this is all documented in stone tablets. So and that predates the Bible by 3,000 to 4,000 years. You know what I mean? So the one way to look at it is like the Sumerian story is told from one perspective, which is older, because there's a thing called the King's Tablet, the Code of Hammurabi, and in the Code of Hammurabi there's stuff that's right in the Bible like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. That was one of the King's Code, and that's into the Bible, But this is also into the Bible 4,000 years later. You know what I mean? From the Code of Hammurabi, And the Sumerians was interesting because they believe in An, and An was the one God over everything. And then we worshipped the Anunnaki or whoever they were as gods. You know what I mean? Like, that's why the cradle of civilization and our story of telling time is derived from that time period. You know what I mean? Like a baker's dozen. The way we tell time is actually Sumerian. Beer, wine is made in Sumer. That's where it's from. So all that's derived from way back then, before the Bible was even written. Like the city of Ki. There's also the story of Noah in the Sumerian tablets. Except it's not with like animals 2x2. It's more of basically kind of like a DNA thing. You know what I mean? So it's really interesting to see the parallels. Like how far does religion date back? And like the 10 Commandments, I always use kind of a good one because in every religion, there's basically sort of the 10 Commandments. Like don't bang your neighbor's wife, don't steal. You know what I mean? Like just basic ethical good things. Like you can kind of live your life by. If you can live your life by those 10 Commandments, or like you'll probably be a cool dude. I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's even what's the hero? Like there's like a really famous one from like the Sumerian
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh, and yeah, like when you read stuff about him, there's a lot of parallels between him and Jesus Christ and Mithra from the.
What's interesting about that story is they've actually found the lost city of Troy, which they believed was a legend and not true, was a myth through the story of Gilgamesh, and they found I think another city recently too from that story. So they're trying to say now, was that more like not an allegory, but was that actually history? Because written in the stone tablets, it's kind of just documented. Like the Sumerians were unique because they would like divorce documented, like me selling you some goats. Everything was written in stone tablets. They carried these really cool things, a bead around their neck, that was reverse cut in. So whenever you did a contract with somebody, like I'm selling a couple donkeys on a piece of clay, you take your little bead off your neck and you roll it across the thing, and it's so badass. Think of the art skills that it took. It's a negative carving in a round cylinder. It's called a cylinder seal. And then you unroll it, and it's like two goats and a fucking U and a staff. You know what I mean? It's a fucking trip. You know what I mean? And that's how they would sign their documents, with their cylinder seal.
Oh, like a little signature kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's so tiny, and it's like carved reverse, so that when you roll it out on clay or stone before they would cast it, it's a little like, picture of your name or whatever.
It's like mirrored.
Yeah. So man, think of the craftsmanship back then. You think about like old times, they all think everybody was like a bunch of idiots. You know what I mean? Like cavemen.
Yeah,
but,
I couldn't do that.
yeah, fuck 7,000 fucking years ago. No, for real though, right? Like it's like holy shit. Like who's the guy making that? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. So it's fascinating, when you get really back in time that far. Some of the crazy things that we can't do today.
Oh, for sure. Like everyone's always like, oh, a couple hundred years ago they believed the world was flat, and it's like, no, they found that out They found that it was round a long time ago, like with some crazy techniques using the sun and the shadows, and so yeah, they were capable of insane things.
That's another one, right? Is in the Bible, if you're religious, then you live under the firmament, and that it's not round.
Oh yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
It's like a dome almost.
Yeah, it's like a dome, I guess. So that's an interesting one, the Earth being round. And now what's interesting to me today is how people contrast that. You know what I mean? Is the Earth round or flat? You know what I mean? Like what's, like we don't even have a picture from space because we've never technically been to space. That was one of the weirdest things that I didn't know. I tattooed this one guy. He's does gamma radiation testing. I told him, hey man, how does a space shuttle go into space and everybody not get irradiated and die? Because it tells you, if you look the Van Allen radiation belt, if you pass through it, it's an impassable barrier of radiation. But then he comes back to another session. He's like, Dan, this is why. Because the moon is in the upper atmosphere. So if we have never been past the moon physically, then we've never been past the Van Allen radiation belt. So we've never technically been to space. We've only been to the Earth's uppermost atmosphere. Interestingly enough.
So he says the moon's not in space?
No, it's in the Earth's upper atmosphere.
Yeah, because it revolves around the...
Yes, it's yeah. So I guess, but the way we're taught in school and the way you see NASA and you're like, oh, you're in space now. But no, they're not even fucking in space. They're just
like when
way
there's
high up
Rocket
there.
X or whenever they're in space. Yeah, they're just a little higher than.
Yeah, they're in the upper Earth's atmosphere. They're technically not even past the moon. So you haven't passed the moon, you ain't in fucking space.
Yeah, like that one guy that skydives out of space.
Oh yeah, yeah. They uses a fisheye. He uses a fisheye lens to make it look like. Yeah, but it was funny. Like, I remember watching that video, and these guys were like, oh, yeah. He's like, why does that look like Arizona or some shit? Like, it's like, it's all big dirt, like brown desert, like the dude was like, you know what I mean? He's like, doesn't look like the fucking world to me, like,
Looks like Fifth Street to me.
But that's the interesting...
so satellites are definitely in the atmosphere. Have they ever said they shot anything out
Yeah,
into
well,
space?
deep space probes that they've sent out, right?
To Mars.
And they say those are real. Oh, yeah, because there's stuff on Mars. So you're saying... Nothing would make it out there, or humans?
No, nothing
can't.
with a human, like
A human
chimpanzee or yeah, because supposedly the Van Allen radiation belt. And like I said, this is what it says in science books. So if our science books are telling the truth,
What fuck
and
up.
we agree that that's the truth, well then we all can agree that we've never been to space. Technically, we've never been to space. So, and it's also weird, right? Like, how do we lose the technology to go to the moon? Like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? Have you seen NASA? Like, we lost that technology. Like, who misplaced it? Like, and what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, we went there before. Do you believe we've actually been to the moon, or do you just think that was part of the Iron Curtain space race, like to who is world dominating power? Like, because more to do with politics than really actually science. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, is that really real? Is that not? Is that fantasy? When your cell phone supposedly is more powerful than they had a room full of computers. I mean, what's your take on that, Xander? Have we been to the moon?
I think we've been to the moon.
Been to the moon?
I think so.
What about the feet not matching up from the bottom of the spacesuits? Is that just a bunch of malarkey? Internet jargon?
I mean, it's hard to say. I guess if I just had to say an answer, yeah. But I mean, I'm sure there is stuff that... I'm sure not everything was true. And there was stuff made up. There was stuff doctored. Maybe there could have been stuff even exaggerated, like you said, to win the space race. But I do think we went to the moon.
Well, what's his name said, right? What's his name? That astronaut dude. Once he got older, he blurted out a couple times like, "Oh, he never went to space."
Armstrong.
There was no cameras. He's like, "There's no cameras in space. That was all done with like television and shit. Like we never like showing them. You know what I mean? Like there was no fucking cameras in space. That was all theatrical. Like you know what I mean? Like now was he just old and losing it, or you know what I mean? Like, what I mean, I
It's
to
hard
me,
to
I just think it's
no, it's hard to
interesting
say.
shit to talk about.
No, yeah, it's
yeah, it's
hard to-
interesting. And then
Yeah.
sometimes you'll see people say, like astronauts will say, "Oh yeah, there were aliens on the moon, and they told us not
Yeah.
to go back." So it's like,
Yeah, no, yeah.
There's
What's
so many-
the truth?
yeah,
Yeah,
so-
yeah.
Or it's even like when you'll see like retired general pilots from the Air Force when they're older. They're like, oh yeah, we saw UFOs all the time, and
Yeah,
we
yeah.
saw fucking this and that. And
Are
they
there
just told
aliens,
us.
Noah? Do you believe in do you
Whoa.
believe in aliens?
I thought the CIA released all those files and documents of all like the Navy sightings and all the people in the air. Like yeah, there's stuff up there moving around and doing its thing. But yeah, I'm sure we're not there, or maybe to like talk to them or.
they don't want to talk to you.
So do you think then like what some of these people say, like in Antarctica, there's an aliens that live in there, or it's Agartha, the center of the earth, where they've been living here all this time, and
I'm sure on
Yeah.
Earth there's some fucked up shit going on, but yeah, I just don't know what's real, but I'm sure there's some stuff like.
isn't that the hardest thing? Growing up in your time, you know, not to be that because we're older, it's just to me, it's like kind of fascinating because it's like the CIA said that only 2% of people live in reality, and everybody else lives in their perception of reality. That's like something, you know what I mean? Have you ever heard that?
well, I think everybody lives in their perception,
in their own
of
reality, right? How could you live in?
You're,
Somebody
you're
else.
Well,
bound by your own senses
I guess
and brain.
I would have to articulate what they mean by that, I guess. But it's like what's really real, and then what our perception of what real is, I guess, is what they say. You know what I mean? So that interesting to me. If 1% rules the world and 2% understand really, you know what I mean, what was considered the real, what we're living in, I guess, or real world. Because how much information on the internet is just total bullshit, just entertainment. I mean, it's to me, I think a lot of the internet and stuff we see is just entertainment.
Okay,
now.
so you're saying a small percentage understand the map we're on.
Yeah,
that
but
what you're saying?
understand what's really going on in the world, like what's, and that like 98% of us are in this like
What we're being told.
Yeah, whatever it is.
2%
but
took
only
the
two-
red pill and then they woke
Yeah,
up.
2% know what the
whatever.
fuck is really going on, and the rest of us are living in a what our how our perception of what real is. You know what I mean? Because I mean, how many arguments you get in with people over things like dudes of the flat Earth getting arguments of dudes that it's a sphere, and you know everybody's got their arguments, and it's really good because actually, like, and I only bring up the flat Earth one because there's a lot of crazy good arguments on both sides. To
On
make
both
you,
sides,
like-
right?
Yeah, to make you be like, fuck, you know what I mean? But is that the whole agenda? Just so that we're so confused all the time about fuck, is guacamole good or bad for you? Well, we don't know because the report says it is. What says it isn't.
It's a good fat. No,
it's a
all
good-
fat's
it's
bad.
not-
All
it's
fat's
all fats are
bad.
Like, it's like fuck. Like, is it just to fuck your head so much that you can't be in that 2% of people that actually understand and perceive reality as for what it really is? I guess you know what I mean.
I just saw they fed 2 people steak for a whole week, and one of them had steak and avocado, and one had just steak, and the one that had the avocado had 0 buildup. Like, so I guess the avocado is good for you.
No, that's cool though. That's cool.
No, but you know, but on what you're saying, I think if you think the world's flat, then you're living in a flat world.
Yeah.
And if I think it's round, like that's what I'm saying, I'm living it through my perspective, and I think if NASA's lying to me, then they're lying to me, and you know that's the world I live in, and that's the way I see it, and
Yeah, your perception of reality.
and to some degree, it doesn't matter, right? Like if it's flat to me and round to you, it doesn't matter in the world. You know, we're traveling this
Mhm.
area. It doesn't matter, right? Like
Nobody said it better than Gibbs. Remember he told me that day we were talking about something. He's like, yeah, but what does it matter if that's the lie or if that's the truth? And I was like, you know what? You're absolutely fucking right. You're a genius. He's the most. He's like a simple man. You know what I mean? Like that perspective is like a simple man. I was like,
Yeah, it's not like any of us are gonna go travel to the edge or.
oh yeah. Or like,
but
are
until you
gonna-
do,
are
that's
we
when it
going on the
matters to you.
boat?
Yeah.
And if it matters to you, then
will, yeah,
then
you
you
will.
will, and you'll find out
If it's true or not. You know what I
it's
mean?
true or not. Yeah.
But then when you come back telling everybody it's true, who's gonna believe you? Right? Because if your perception is like, you're full of shit. Right? So I mean that's the whole craziness. To me that's the craziness.
Like, if
And
I
that's
left-
speaking this is more of a physics question, I guess, because this is what physics is all about. You know what I mean? Like perceived reality, you know what I mean? What your perceived reality is, and that we don't all share the same perceived reality, right? Because you know that's what we're supposed to be talking about, physics, right?
Instead of balls and
Instead of balls, yeah. But so that's why I'm saying it's like a philosophy question too. Not like physics, but it's like the philosophy of it, right? Like you know
Were
what
the
I mean?
balls real?
The ball- were they?
No, but yeah, and some people are so lost in the day-to-day life and the wrong things that, man, you know, maybe they're not in tune to, I mean, yeah. I mean, but I guess who's to say what's important to you has to be important to them?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it doesn't have to. That's what toleration's all about, right?
Just like
Tolerating it.
like we're saying, yeah, the internet's full of misleading stuff. A lot of it's poison for the mind.
Yeah.
There's poisoned food for us that's not good for us, but so many people are trapped in that. But I mean, just because it's not good for you doesn't mean it's not good for them, or they shouldn't live it, or yeah. I mean, we're all different, right? But yeah, I just think you're like right now everything's really expensive, and so it's making you work harder. But then I've noticed too, everywhere I look, people need help. Like restaurants need help.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Everybody's like how's that happening? How's everything so expensive, but people aren't working, or are they just in a different industry or what?
Tell me about that shit, because fuck, at the fucking bar, we've been hiring solid for like, you know what I mean? And before it was never a problem. Like we had an abundance of employees, you know?
People always wanted after
to work.
COVID?
Yeah. And now it's like, I'm like, man, if you're still getting checks or what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
nobody's getting checks. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Where's
but
everybody
like,
getting?
Where they all go? I think to a certain extent, especially in the service industry like we're in, I think because they got it so bad during COVID that I think it's deterred a lot of people from going back into that industry.
You think?
Yeah, because you can make a lot of money, but think about it, when they took that away from everybody, I mean, they were like, service industry people were the most fucked. You know what I mean? Because you're a bartender, so some of these girls making $800 a night, $400, $250. Hey, you're making $1,000 to let's say $2,000, $2,500 a week. You know what I mean? You're making that good money. Now, like I had one of my bartenders when they slapped him on, unemployment. She was getting $6, in her check. Then you have these people that are working like, that was weird to me. They're working like a GameStop, and now they're getting $4,000 a month. And you're like, why the fuck is this bartender that's not? But then you got to relate into how they're paid in. They make $2.13 an hour. What's based on, you know what I mean? So it was really interesting to see that, especially in that industry, since I work in multiple industries, because like, I mean, even at a bar back, you're making probably on average $11-12 an hour, and they get paid $4.50 an hour cash, but their tip money bumps them up to $11 to $12. So now in El Paso back in the day, that's good fucking money. Come on, if your most jobs is $7.25, now everybody's like, I gotta pay it. All the kids are like, if I'm not making $1.2 a year, I can't work for you, because I want to be a Kardashian. It's sad because I don't know if I sound like our grandparents, like, these kids don't work anymore, or whatever, you know what I mean? But it's like fucking true. It's like, fuck you fuckers. Like, I guess they don't work because they can just go back home to mommy and daddy, the younger ones, you know what I mean? Like, I just go back home, fuck work.
Okay, you think a lot of it's that?
Maybe, yeah, the younger kids, yeah. But I think the other ones, like people now who don't want to be in the service industry, you try to find a way out.
Okay, so you think it's service? Because yeah, I mean, I have noticed it at restaurants.
It's everywhere. Drive up the street, you'll fucking from Chipotle
at restaurants.
to McDonald's.
Yeah, but is it anywhere else? Is it like
McDonald's had to start
J.C. Penney, or is it?
Oh, because that's more retail. I think a lot of people, like Walmart bumped up how much they pay, like $15 an hour. So people that were maybe
Walmart's
service industry went to Walmart.
Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon, but then Amazon's laying off a bunch of fucking people because the economy's taking a shit. If nobody's buying anything, you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. In COVID, you think they got that big spike because everybody's home getting that free money, right? And they were just fucking like spending money, ordering shit they didn't need. Now you're back in the real world, no more check. Like fuck, I gotta, you know what I mean? Like I gotta go work at Amazon now. I can't just shop there. But even then, Amazon, bunch of layoffs, because you got to remember, once we start going into a recession, economically affects everyone. Like, you're going to eat out less, right? But that's what's tripping me out, is that people, okay, if you're going to eat out less, but what the fuck, nobody wants to work. Meanwhile, we've got millions of immigrants coming over. I'm like, let me hire these motherfuckers. Like, right? Like, everybody's like mad. So I say, hey, man, you cross over. Here's the way this is my ideology, just to touch on immigration, is if you make it from fucking here to Guatemala, you deserve a fucking Social Security card. Welcome to America, motherfucker. Like, hey, now it's your chance to live the dream, right?
There's some guys here that can't even walk down the street to their...
No, yeah.
This dude American Ninja Warriored it across multiple countries.
If you made it fucking here, like, give the dude a fucking Social Security card. Let him pay fucking taxes so we don't got to pay for everybody, and give him, here's your shot, the American dream, bro.
Yeah, we've got 20-year-olds living here that can't even walk down the street or drive a car. And, right, you got some 13-year-old...
If they don't want to work, give us the people that will.
Yeah,
like, come on, you just made it from Guatemala, and I bet if I offer you, or Venezuela, even worse, right? You get here and like, I'm going to pay you $4 an hour. An hour? Each day? Holy shit, probably shit himself, you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Or, they're making $4 a month, you know what I mean? So if you come here, I'm like, fuck it, like, let's get them, let's roll these bitches out. I mean, the Democrats gave away the whole we're in national debt, like, economy's crumbling because they gave all this money. They're still pumping all this money to, like, fucking Ukraine and these other places, like, Bring them here, tax them, let them work, right? Fucking A, man. Like, everybody's hurting for employees. We all have employees tomorrow. Fuck yeah. Like, I'm about to drive down to the board. Remember back in the day, you go by Home Depot and shit because you need some dudes to help you fucking, like, put landscaping rock down. And there'd be dudes there like, hey, man, come on. Hey, anybody do landscaping? I do. Okay, a couple dudes jump in your truck. You go to the house. You pay them cash money. You know what I mean? Like, you know. I mean, if you never did that, I did, you know. I'm very proud of it. You know? Because most people here doing that or just want a better life. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if we're really Americans and you're good, like, why do you want to deny them? Like, okay, here's a $250 credit card so they give them a cell phone and tell you to show up in 2027 to a court date. And then just, like, throw you out here. And then now you're thrown out into America like, oh, we're doing them a favor? How you doing people a favor when it's like, now we can't hire you because you're an illegal immigrant, correct? Right? Like, how does that work? Like, how does that even make any fucking kind of common sense? You know what I mean? Now, but they're allowed to vote. So you can fucking vote now? Like, to me, it's like, what are we? Are we in the Twilight Zone? Are we living? What happened to our reality? Did the CERN smashing knock us over in our street?
Damn, is that? Oh, but then so they can't work?
No, you're an illegal alien. You're not here legally. You haven't been to court yet. You're just, like, let to be in the country. Here's your cell phone. Here's $250 and a plane ticket to Miami because you got a cousin that lives there supposedly. And then you're supposed to show up to court 2027. You know what I mean? Like, I believe everybody should go through the paperwork.
So you're supposed to be living under your relative.
Or, yeah, that's what they're saying. Like, all you got to do is, I got an address and this is somebody, and then, okay, you can go there.
They're going to take care of me.
But
so
it's
I can
like,
start working in 3 years.
What's the point? If they're processing them, why aren't they just giving them fucking
work
Social
visa.
Security? Yeah.
A work visa.
Yeah, okay, you got to come, but here's a work visa.
It's good till 2027.
And you can pay taxes while you're living in our country. You can get an apartment. Because, I mean, come on, think about it. You send these people and they can't even, like, we need your ID. Well, I don't have a fucking
what
ID.
are they doing? Like,
Well, that's what's so mind-boggling to people like me. I'm like, you know, and I know so many Border Patrol agents. I tattoo them. We all do. If you ask any of these guys are customs agents, and they're even like, fuck them. But I mean, busloads of kids. What they found one in Ohio, and they're like, we don't even know why this company has all these children, and that's even the scarier part, right, man? Like, they separate children from their parents, and then is this sex trafficking shit really going on? Is that fake news?
What it is?
Yeah, is that fake news? I mean, is that like supposedly there's
that one guy from New York is like, you, come with me, you.
Let's get shipped to Ohio.
No, but
you turn them back with your balls out. Keep walking.
You should get a social security. If you cross the border with your balls out, you should be entitled to a social security card on the spot.
You pretty balls, come over here.
But I'm just saying, things like that are perplexing to me right now in the social dynamic of what's going on.
No, I feel like they would start resorting to crime and stuff like that.
That's what happens, bro.
Well, they're forced to because they can't work.
They're forced to. Yeah. You're bringing them from a shitty third world country now, and remember this: you came through. This is why Americans are so delusional, because you came from a third world country. You don't have the same. People will kill you for $5 because again, $5 is what you could make in a month. Their perception of what you're like $5. I can fuck everybody, wipe your ass, and they get on my face. Like, you know what I mean? Their whole concept. So when heinous crimes happen, and like Karens are like all shocked. It's like, what do you expect? The dude had to eat. And then if you dumped him here with his whole family, I mean, you know what I mean? He's got to feed his family.
Yeah.
That's why he stole all the ranchers' chickens. Well, they're fucking hungry, right? You know what I mean? In other countries, they're used to killing them and eating them, so not a big deal. Dude's like, I found a chicken. He was just walking around. I ate him. Like, you know, like... So, I mean, I was just saying at this time it's really perplexing, you know?
No, yeah, like, that's what I'm thinking. What are they all doing?
Well, that's the problem, is that, you know...
Especially because, yeah, I know all of them don't have those relatives or those...
Oh, no, they don't. But you got to make it up. But, I mean, you're coming from the stories of America and you see movies, right? So your perception of what America is, you know, the El Dorado, it's a city of gold. Like, they say that it's the easiest to make it in America anywhere, you know? And what's interesting is all the doctors are from, like, Africa and all these other countries, right? Like, the top doctors. Like, it's like everyone here is now so fucking lazy. They don't want to become doctors, you know what I mean? They just want to smoke weed and fuck bitches. Which ain't a bad thing, but, you know what I mean? It's an interesting dichotomy, you know? So, like, yeah, if you made the perils of Guatemala to Texas, like, I think you deserve a green card, man. You know what I mean? And an opportunity at a better life. You know what I mean? Sorry, did I take it to a somber moment?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're here anyways.
Yeah, they're
You either send them back, or yeah, you have to make it so they're not crime's not their only option.
Yeah, because I mean, how many people? I mean, come on, so many people have to be good people that are coming. Yeah, there's gonna be nefarious motherfuckers, and there's gonna be gangbangers and all kinds of weird shit. But I guess the thing that's alarming everybody right now is, especially like the border patrol agents, the guys that I'm talking to, the customs, is that how many military-aged men are coming into our country right now undocumented. Like, and it's not, people, because a lot of times people think illegal immigration, they're always thinking it's Mexicans or El Salvadorians, but no, it's like fucking Chinese dudes and like all kinds of crazy Muslim dudes, and it's a huge influx from all over the world. Where it's always been that way, because we know that in El Paso. We have the Mark worked at the jail. Remember, you know what I mean? And they had Jamaicans in there, gangbangers, and they got all these kinds of, you know what I mean? We get all nationalities. It's just like people think illegal immigration. They think it's like mostly Mexican people, and it's like, nah, Mexican people are smart. They come over here and work and go back to Juarez because they live a better fucking life. Like, they make more money here and they go over to live for cheap.
That's what they do. And the whole freeway will be packed from like
Oh, yeah.
3 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Because standard of living things in Mexico is like they give it to you. Like, they don't shut off your water, your power, you pay pennies for it. Where we pay out our ass here, but over there
Yeah,
they
and
pay
more and more every
they pay
fucking
pennies.
month. Keeps going up.
Okay. But over there, it's not. That's not the way it is. Remember Big Worm? He had moved out there to Mexico when he had gotten with that one girl. He's like, bro, I live in a badass gated community, pay like $400 a month of rent, like all our utilities are nothing. And he was always playing it down for his chick. She'd be like, I don't know, can we afford this? Yeah, we'll be able to make it. Like, we're fine. Like, so like, you know what I mean? So he ended up then, and he was a jailer for the sheriff. So he started living in Juarez because his money just went so much farther in Mexico. You know what I mean? And they have hookers. So that's another reason.
All sold.
Yeah. But,
I was gonna say with inflation, like I know the other day I was at the store and like a Snickers was like $4. Like, you think people in San Francisco are like, man, a hooker's $80 now.
800, bro, 800.
I'm definitely eating her ass for that.
Right.
That's right. Yeah. Herpes
No.
or no herpes.
No, she's eating my ass for that price.
Isn't that why you get a hooker? So that they can eat your ass, right?
Exactly.
You're not going to marry a good lady whose mouth's been on your butthole, are you? Don't kiss my child with that mouth. I know what you did last night.
You're gonna tell your grandchildren, back in my day, hookers were only
My day,
$40.
Grandma used to eat my ass. It's Thanksgiving, dear Grandpa. Shut up.
It's true.
Girls today don't know what it's all about. Or do you think more girls eat ass now than did back in the day? They just don't talk about it. Like, it was like a secret back then, right? Because like Grandpa got 18 fucking kids. You're like, they're just fucking all the time, right? They're acting like sex is a sin, right?
And they couldn't go to YouTube. All you had to do was eat your wife's ass. Like, there's nothing else to do.
Good old days. Just go home and fuck because there's nothing on TV, right, to distract her. No cooking shows.
No cooking
No
shows.
Joanna Gaines. Just blowjobs and, you know what I mean?
And that's how the pyramids were built, right? Because there's nothing to distract you.
Yeah, probably. Building pyramids. How do we move the rocks?
So like construction takes forever.
It does. That's just because it's all corrupt. They got to string it along so they can get more money. That's what they do. You know what I mean? It's just,
Meet their dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's straight up anymore, huh?
Fuck no. it's all
Nothing's
corrupt.
straight up.
Yeah. Corruption's so deep, right? And then if you try to fix corruption, then you're the problem. Because everybody's so corrupt, you know what I mean? It's just the way it is. So corruption, you just have to embrace as part of society. It's a part of a construct of life.
Man, I saw something on Instagram. I don't know how true it was, but it was either Mercedes or BMW. They come with heated steering wheels and heated seats, and it's built into the car, but you have to pay a subscription every month for it.
Oh shit, that must be a new thing. Cause I had heated seats in my Beamer all the time. I didn't pay for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I saw. And then Teslas are starting to do that too with the self-driving. Like, there was Teslas that have it, but
Yeah.
it's not unlocked. You have to pay the extra like 20 grand or whatever, and then it's supposed to be an upcoming monthly charge.
Yeah, that's how it always was. It was like I think it was like 8,000 more in the price. Maybe it's 20 grand now. But I think when they first came out, it was something like that. 5 grand, I think maybe. So to get a Tesla to get self-driving, you had to pay that $5,000 fee.
And it's kind of scary, like.
Can't be hacked.
Fuck no.
No?
That's the thing about cryptocurrency, right? Like, if we implemented that, and think about it right now, Tesla, what they do, you don't pay your payment. You know what they do? Just turn your shit off.
Yeah, that's
Do
what
it?
I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, fuck
you don't.
yeah, you be driving down the street, "Woo," and it's because you didn't fucking pay your car payment, bro.
That's what I'm
They don't
saying.
fuck
It's
around,
like you don't want to pay for our stuff. You can't use our technology. Like,
No.
yeah, shut it off.
That's how cell phones are. Like, you don't really own it. Like, you can't. Yeah, if you don't pay this or you can't do that, they'll turn it off and they'll lock it on you.
It's just like taxes a little bit. You do that already, right? You own your home. And it's unconstitutional for you to pay property tax after you've owned your property. but they circumvented that. It was Woodrow Wilson, the president, that circumvented that. So now you got to pay property. So you're always renting your home, even though you own it, right?
It's funny, Woodrow Wilson, right? One of the worst presidents of all time.
I'm actually related to him.
Oh no.
Oh shit! Oh, so it's your fault.
Yeah, no, well, that's one of those shameful things. Family scene, you're like, oh, fuck, like, Woodrow, fucking son of a bitch.
Right? Yeah, I think I was related to Hitler. Really?
We were always
I was related to Wilson. Oh, you piece of
but
shit.
we were always blown up with smoke up. Like, I have a letter at my house written by him, you know what I mean? Like, I've got, like, when we went to his house in Virginia, my grandmother, because she's a pain in the ass, we were allowed to go up into the other parts of the house where nobody else is allowed, that it's all sectioned off, to go and see, and it hasn't been changed since then, because it has to do with my great grandmother Mish. I don't know. I don't remember the story anymore. It's lost in time to my grandmother, but how we fit all into all that. You know what I mean? Because back in the day, before the Depression, my grandmother was, you know, on a plantation. They were super rich. Then the Depression hit. Boom, next fucking poor. You know what I mean? One day's next lost everything. You know. I think she was mad about that the rest of her life because she always thought the South was going to rise again. You know? Tell her it wasn't, but talk about not living in a normal reality. My grandmother, I'll tell you that right now. You know what I mean?
But she lives in her reality.
No, she did. Trust me. We were there when my mom had passed away, and we were all there for the funeral. And then she's like, yeah, well, the darkies live down the street. And my uncle turned to me and was like, did she just fucking say darkies? I was like, yeah, she's crazy, bro. Like, I was like, you know what I mean? She thought the South was going to rise again one day, you know what I mean? Which is crazy, you know?
Yeah, some people are still stuck in that.
Oh, well, are these weird anomalous facts? You know, there were still people slaves up into 1973 because they lived in rural areas and communities that they didn't know that they were slaves. I swear to God, you can look into this shit. It's a fucking trip. You know what I mean? Like, you live out in the middle of Missouri and you're just, like, still a slave.
And he's on a cell phone like, what the fuck?